Welcome to Wakizashi's Teahouse. Gray's Pick and Mix. Hello, happy Monday. How are you doing? Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, whatever it is. It's Gray from Wakizashi's Teahouse over in Japan. I hope you're good. I hope you're Genki. I can't believe it. There's actually people here. It's the first time ever on a Monday morning show. We have in the chat. Where are we? Your Barmy. How are you, mate? It's raining in New York. Oh, is Sinatra singing though? That's what I want to know. And Fear Monarch's here. Happy Monday, Gray. Thank you. Same to you. Hope it's a good one and hope you have a great week. So yeah, here we are again. It's Monday morning. Well, Monday night in Japan, but I want to do my weekly comic book show recommendations, picks of the week coming up, and things that you might have missed from last week. So yeah, do let me know what you read, what you enjoyed, anything good. I'd love to hear about it. So where are we? It's been a weird week. Well, a weird weekend so far, but yeah. Anyway, it's the start of a new week, so let's keep going. We've got the Stream Elements bot running in the chat as well. Great to see you. So, what was out last week that was any good? And what did I review? That's the question. Last week's comic recommendations. Let's have a look. Without further ado, let's share the screen. Where are we? I only did a couple of reviews. 2 reviews last week. The first one, of course, was Amazing Spider-Man, issue 34, which maybe I was a little bit generous with that. Looking back, in hindsight, because there was a bit of a crazy ending. If you've read it, I don't know, but at the ending, it looks like at the cliffhanger, they've left Peter as a killer, as a murderer, because he's been tainted by the Green Goblin serum. So he's kind of half Spider-Man, half Green Goblin now, if you can believe that. And at the end of the issue, he was chasing down Mary Jane and Paul, everybody's favourite villain. Paul, is he a villain? Maybe, I don't know. And they were driving through a tunnel, actually stuck in a gridlock traffic in a tunnel. Peter went down there flying some kind of weird, strange goblin glider or whatever. I wasn't even sure if it was wings that he had on, because the art was strange in this issue. And he was throwing all these bombs, like goblin bombs. So that was a packed tunnel. There's going to be casualties. Are Marvel Comics trying to make Peter a killer? Is it too late? Is he already there? Unbelievable. DJ Ronnie G, how you doing, mate? It's raining in New York. Oh, sorry to hear that. It's nice here. It's been a nice kind of cooler September Monday after crazy heat for so long and, really hot summer, very humid at times. So yeah, that's good. But good to hear. Good to see you in the chat as well, mate. That's awesome. So, Amazing Spider-Man, and this has done very well for me. It's a very rare. It just passed 1,000 views. I know, right? Well, come on, this is me. You're talking about Gray, Wakizashi's Teahouse, but 1,000 views is amazing for me. That's so cool. Seems that people, just found this video by chance, or maybe it got picked up by the famous algorithm. So, yeah, say maybe I was a bit generous with my 8 out of 10. The art looked pretty rushed. I don't know what you thought about that. Now, I have a theory on that, and it's probably because Marvel, in their greedy Uncle Scrooge manner, they want to trying to make as much money as possible. They keep releasing 2 issues of Spider-Man every month. So how's the artist supposed to keep up with that? Think about it. Patrick Gleason, he did really good work on the last issue, the one before this one, I thought. And this one, it was kind of showing, it looked like it was rushed at times, but still enjoyed it. Me, looking at the positives. Hey, Keely Chow, how are you, mate? Long time no see. I hope you're good. I hope you're Genki. Amazing. People popping in. I love it when this happens. It's totally random. Just doing my kind of weekly comic book catch-up roundup show. The second comic I reviewed last week was... Where are we? So it's Spider-Man, of course. Then this is the big one for me. And you have to go down 1 row, 2, 3, 4, is it? 4 rows down. I can't even find it. Ah, dear. Where's Big Game? Oh, dear. Gray's lost it already. So we did have some big releases last week. There was a Wonder Woman issue 1 from Tom King, which has gorgeous art, by the way. The writing is, if you like Tom King, you'll probably enjoy it. Where's Big Game? I can't even find it. There it is. Issue 3, Big Game. Mark Miller, and the art is by Pepe Larraz, who's killing it with the art. It's so good. Look at this cover. Got three there. Three of Mark Miller's characters. The one at the back, who I don't know, is Hook. He's called Hook. You've got to be careful how you say that. Big strong man. And there are two of the teenage vampires from his recently new series, Nightclub. So yeah, let's look at the variant cover for that. Where are we? Look at that. There's a great variant cover by Travis Charest, showing the ambassadors who are not in this issue. But anyway, so yeah, that was a really good. If you caught my review, basically I'm just saying that Big Game issue 3 is close to being a perfect comic book. The writing, pacing, characters, art and colouring are all pretty much flawless. It's so refreshing to get caught up in such an exciting story, feel genuine stakes for the characters and their actions. I rarely hand out 10 out of 10s, I mean it, if you know me, it's very rare. But this comic merits the highest score. If you're not reading Big Game, you should be. And it's only up to issue 3, and there are only going to be 5 issues. So there we go. 3 of 5. I can't believe how he's going to finish it. How is he going to end the series, Mark Miller? That's what I want to know. Because there seems to be, so much still to tell, and there are only 2 issues left. Unbelievable, right? Dwayne, great to see you. Happy Monday from the past. And it is good to be Genki, DJ Ronnie G. I'm glad to hear you good, despite the rain. A little rain never hurt no one, as Tom Waits sang. Hey, Gruffin. How you doing, man? I hope you got that Batman voice out of your head, that's all I'll say. Great to see you. So yes, what else was out last week which was good, which I didn't cover? Superman issue 6. Thank goodness it's back after the crazy nightmare that was Night Terrors. Superman's back. Joshua Williamson. This issue actually had art by, let me just check, Gleb Melnikov. It's different style, but it is good. It's decent. And this was a good story. It's called The Chained, Part 1. Following the shocking cliffhanger of Superman issue 5, which not many people remember because it was like 2.5 months ago, and the events of Night Terrors, Superman has learned that Lex Luthor kept a prisoner beneath Stryker's Island for decades. Who is this mysterious prisoner? What did they do? Why did Lex lock them up? Can Superman unlock the secrets of the Chained? So that was it. So yeah, it was pretty good. I enjoyed that. Good issue. Let's go back. And I keep showing like this week's comics. We also had, where are we? Uncanny Spider-Man, issue 1. Now this is by Cy Spurrier, who is not always everyone's cup of tea. And it's got art by Lee Garbett. Now this surprised me. This was actually quite fun. It's basically Nightcrawler from X-Men. Nightcrawler putting on a Spider-Man costume and acting like Spider-Man-y. That's pretty much it. Let me just do. I'm going to share. I've got some of the comic to show you. Let me stop sharing that and catch up with you. Anybody else here that I've missed? I know, right, Dwayne? Big Game cliffhanger. Wow, Big Game issue 3. What an ending that was. Time travel. It's coming into it, isn't it? You know, this is how Mark Miller's going to kind of maybe save some of his characters. Mick Hope, great to see you. Good afternoon from Germany. And Mick, well, if you're still there, if you can hear me, do hang around. If you fancy a chat after this finishes, I'd love to talk to you. I will send you the link to this after I stop recording, of course. You can still come jump in and have a little catch up if you want. You don't have to if you're busy. No problems. It'll probably come back next time you review it. Oh, thanks. I hope not. Who wants to hear my voice when you're reading Batman? That's what I want to say. Okay, let me show you a little bit of the Uncanny Spider-Man issue 1. Here we go. So this is part of the Fall of X, but I don't think you need to be reading that to kind of follow this issue. It's pretty good. It's a weird looking design. What do you think? This is actually a cover by Tony Daniel. remember him from Batman from years ago. Cy Spurrier, Lee Garbett, Matt Miller, I guess, is the colorist. So here we go. It's just a brief look inside, show you some of the art. We open with a couple of people on bikes. Looks like criminals are being chased. They've got a human organ box on the back of the bike. And their great idea is flee into the park, stay out of the city, or get off the roads, get away from the buildings, because buildings means Spider-Man. You know, he can swing. Well, he needs the building, doesn't he? He needs that kind of support. So they go into the park thinking they're safe. And then suddenly from behind or above them, not even aware he's there, there's a bamf. The great sound when Nightcrawler, Kurt Wagner, when he appears above them. Little do they know. Just going to show the opening few pages. And then it's like, what the? Look out! Park weirdo alert. So yeah, it's fun, it's light, it's breezy, it's Cy Spurrier, so sometimes his writing's a little bit, you kind of like scratching your head, but it's not too wordy. That's one of the mistakes I think he kind of falls into. He gets a bit too wordy, a bit too weird and wacky. He wants to be a mixture of Ram V and Grant Morrison, possibly, but it's only my opinion, because I did enjoy his Hellblazer short, cancelled too soon series. That was a few years ago now, isn't it? It is, I can't remember when, but the last proper Hellblazer series that came out, it was very, very good. It was going well, but because of supposedly poor sales, they cancelled it around issue 12, I think. And it's such a shame, because apparently the writer, Cy Spurrier, he had a plan for at least the first 20 issues, so he had to, kind of cram in the end of his story, push it into like the last 2 issues. What a shame. So we've got Kurt Wagner there, Nightcrawler, Spidey, Uncanny Spider-Man trying to crack a joke. You need to practice your parking, pal. And it's good, it's funny, it is, it's worth a look. The art's decent, as I say, not too serious. Great image here where he pulls out a flaming sword. Look at that, that's pretty cool. But yeah, it might be worth a look. Do let me know if you read it. Spiders know how to climb trees too. This is very true, DJ. Ronnie G! Mate, thanks so much for your support, by the way, as well. Shout out to all the members out there. You guys rule. For that, I'm going to drop you a quick clip, a bit of Akira. Man, I love that. That's using free audio from YouTube's audio library, the music, because if I put the original soundtrack on, even a clip that's only like 9 seconds long, you get hit for it. Okay, so what else was out last week? Anything that I missed? Let me see. As I say, it was kind of a mixed week, nothing massive. There was a new issue of Captain America, which is a character that I've never read, never really got into. So I thought I'd try this out. That's it. Speak of the devil, and there you go in the comments, Dwayne. Captain America issue 1 by JMS. That's it. Let me just share the screen again and show you a look. Give you a look at the cover. It's written by J. Michael Straczynski. That's how you pronounce it, I think. Arts by Jesus Saez. That's one of the criticisms I've heard from people who are really enjoying the story. They say it's really good, but not quite sure about the art. He's kind of a, what's the word? Love him or hate him artist. I mean, it's not bad. It's just he's got a very particular style, and I don't know if it works for Cap, but maybe it does. He worked on the recent tragic Punisher series. Tragic because it was so bad, written so poorly. Only my opinion. The art in there was a bit weird, but yeah, hey, maybe it'll work out with Cap. I don't know, we'll see. But this was a good story. It was good for someone like me who's not read the character before. I'm aware of him, but I don't know that much about him. It's going back into his past, before he was captain, and also with the present day setting as well. JMS mixes it up. Decades ago, Steve Rogers changed the world forever. Now, powerful and insidious forces are assembling to ensure he never does it again. Past, present and future collide as the man out of time reckons with an existential threat. determined to set the world on a darker path at any cost. Wow. It's always got to be epic, hasn't it? It's got to be huge, man, massive, crazy. Where are we? Esteemed creators J. Michael Straczynski from Thor and the Amazing Spider-Man, of course, and Jesus Saez, Punisher, Doctor Strange, embark on an exhilarating new journey for Captain America. Now, it was an oversized issue, but it was actually $5.99. Set you back $5.99. A little bit pricey there. So, yeah, there we go. Okie dokie, let's get back to you in the chat. Stop screen. Gary Frank cover was a good one, yeah, Dwayne? Yeah, it was. And Ronnie, I love that clip. Yeah, just a short one. It's a great one of the many like bike gangs attacking in the city. So cool. Dwayne saying he hasn't read Cap since Rick Remender, John Romita Jr. Wow, I didn't read that run. So there we go. So, how are we doing? 16 minutes. Let's get on to the new releases coming up from, I want to say next week, but it's this week. It's a new week. It's Monday. So the DC comic releases will be out tomorrow on Tuesday. And Marvel and the rest, of course, the indie comics. I say indie, but you know, Image is not really indie anymore, is it? It's big. Well, in Image, Dark Horse, Boom, all the rest are on Wednesday. So what is coming out from DC? Let's have a look. If I just limit it to the DC releases only, we will have a look. And then let me share my screen. DC. The one that I am kind of curious about, because I was just talking about Cy Spurrier, is The Flash issue 1. It's a new launch, a new release. Goodness knows how many volumes now, but The Flash issue 1 from the dawn of DC, written by Cy Spurrier. It's got art by Mike Deodato, is it? Deodato Jr. And I think, is that his cover? Let's have a quick look. Click on there and we'll see. I'm not sure. I think it might be. Yeah, it is. Mike Deo. Want to start singing. Deo. By the way, it's actually legacy number 801, it says there. 801 issues of The Flash. Still going, even though it's been interrupted, of course, many times. Here's a B cover by the same artist, Mike Deodato, I'm going to give up to say Mike D Jr. How about that? A Dan Murrah cardstock variant. I do like this one. Dan Murrah, you can't go wrong with him. Rose Besh variant there. Not sure about that. Get the blank cardstock, so you know you pick those up. You can take them to a convention and hopefully get your favorite artist to draw something on there. We've got a Razar foil variant with art by Razar. Don't know. Riley Rossmo. Oh my goodness, it's him, isn't it? Infamous. That's a bit mean, I know. I'm sorry, Riley, but infamous for the Tim Drake Robin series. Oh, Twinkly Toes Tim. James Harren variant. Okay. I think this is reflecting the kind of style that Cy Spurrier story is going to be. He's going for cosmic horror by the sounds of it, which might interest Mick Cope if you're there still. But some people are saying, you know, oh no, because The Flash, before this relaunch, it was going well. It was Jeremy Adams was writing. The story was kind of very family focused, the Flash family, and it was just good fun. I actually got into it for the first time. First time to get into The Flash. Here's a one by, wow, this is a 1 in 100, so this is going to be rare to find. Matt Taylor, cardstock variant. There we go. So those are the covers. Are you excited for a new era for the Scarlet Speedster? Will you go for it? Will you take a risk on Cy Spurrier? That's the question. Let's have a look, see what you guys are saying. Dwayne might try it. Yeah, I'm interested, mate. As I say, I've read more good things than bad by Cy Spurrier, so it could be good. But I did see a few clips of some of the pages, a few panels, and some of the writing. You're kind of like, what? What is he saying there? Hum is saying that Flash sounds a bit too dark and gloomy for the character, but you're going to try it out. It's an issue 1, isn't it? Yeah, that's how I feel. It's an issue 1, so it might be worth picking up. We'll see. Yes, I thought I'd catch your attention there, Mick. The Flash and cosmic horror could be good. Ah, you also enjoyed Spurrier's Hellblazer. Yeah, I thought that was a decent run. Shame it was curtailed. It was cut too short. Very good. Okay, what else is out? Going back, this is Detective Comics, which I'm not reading. It's got great art, by the way, but it's Ram V writing one of the slowest stories in history. Action Comics has been good. This is good. It's what about to there? Issue 1057, 1057. Philip Kennedy Johnson's the main writer. I think it's also got a backup story in there. Let's see. Bonus features Lois and Clark 2 by Dan Jurgens. And let's make it bigger. What am I squinting up there? Super is as super does. I'm not sure the writer there. So there are 2 mini bonus stories. And you get the main story. Revenge of the Demon Part 1. The new epic starts here. Sounds quite interesting. But I think is it $4.99 or $5? Goodness gracious. Yeah, the main cover's $4.99, but if you're going for some of the cardstock variants, you gotta whack out $5.99 for them. That's pretty dope though. Jorge Jimenez. Ooh. Not sure about David Talaskis. And a Rafael Albuquerque looking pretty good there. Ooh. I don't know the artist. Al Barrio Nuevo. And we've got a big one here by Mikel Janin. Yeah, you can tell it's his style, can't you? It's a Justice League versus Godzilla versus Kong variant, which is an upcoming mini-series, a kind of Elseworlds series coming up soon. Can you believe it? They're doing that. Justice League versus King Kong versus Godzilla. Godzilla! Wow, this one just caught my eye. This is a Supergirl variant cover by Will Jack. Will Jack. No comments about that name. Very good. Okay, that's cool. Let's get back to... Yeah, Action Comics might be worth a look. If you like Superman, you get a couple of different stories. Otherwise, we have the new issue of Green Arrow from DC. It's issue 4. And then down in the second row, there's Batman Brave and the Bold, if you're picking up that. But it's $8 for that. Crazy. I think it's like 3. You get 3 stories, 3 or 4. Doom Patrol, which has not been good at all. Sorry. The Unstoppable Doom Patrol. There's a Batman Catwoman Gotham War Red Hood issue 1. But I've kind of dropped out of Batman, and Gotham War was just pretty poor. And the new issue of Penguin, issue 2, which again was, I think that was interrupted. Was it? Was it interrupted by Night Terrors or not? I can't remember. Maybe not. Maybe it wasn't. But I didn't think much of that. That's Tom King again, the Penguin with the solo series. Anyway, okay. Let's go back up to see what Marvel are bringing out. From Marvel, this week we have Ultimate Invasion issue 4. That's Mark Waid and I think Brian Hitch, but I dropped out of that after the first issue. Also, The Avengers issue 5, not reading. The Avengers Annual issue 1. Invincible Iron Man, we're up to issue 10 there. Anybody there reading The Avengers? I've never really got into it. Okay, we also have Immortal Thor issue 2. Now, I heard good things about that, about the first issue. I think that's Al Ewing trying out on, on Thor, but I didn't actually get around to reading it. Where are we? I mean, $4.99 as well. I wasn't going to spend that on it. Void Rivals is the first indie title that pops up on this League of Comic Book Geeks pull list. It's by Skybound, so Image. Void Rivals 4. Then we've got Monstrous after that. Not a fan. Scroll down to This Could Be Good. Now, this is a bit of a dark horse. Blade issue 3. I'm enjoying this. This is Brian Edward Hill. He's writing it, and it's got art by Eleanor Casagrande. Blade possessed. In exchange for a weapon that can destroy the Adana, Blade must get his arms-dealing ex-girlfriend out of a bloody situation with some literal headhunters. But no good deed goes unpunished when he finds himself under the control of her captor. Meanwhile, the pulse of the Adana's power ripples across the Marvel Universe, drawing a familiar friend of Blade's into the fray. Sounds pretty good. What do you reckon? Okay, awesome. Oh, wow! You star! I missed that. Beermonic, thank you so much for becoming a member. That is amazing. If that was you, that I really, really appreciate it. If it was a gifted one, I really appreciate that too. Thank you. That's fantastic. Okay, for that we've got to drop a clip. Where are we? What do I have? Had a couple lined up, and this could be something really random, so please excuse me. It's a bit of Merlin. Merlin from the classic Excalibur movie, John Boorman's Excalibur, back in 1981. I loved that movie so much. Grew up like that was one of the ones that I used to watch repeatedly when I was an impressionable teenager. There was that, and there was Blade Runner, and believe it or not, Rocky Horror Picture Show. I know, what a combination, right? That's crazy. That's awesome, thank you. Hum is saying that I hear Green Arrow is good, but I'm only picking up issue 4 because I'm a huge Parallax fan. I did read the first 2 issues of Green Arrow, and I thought it started well, but then we got the gap, the break, you know, the Donna DC thing, so kind of lost track of things. It was me. Brilliant. Thank you. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much for your support. That's awesome. Welcome to the Wakizashi Teahouse Dojo. It has been good so far, Dwayne. It has, yeah. But I kind of lost track. Thank you. Nice one, DJ Ronnie G, for welcoming him. That's awesome. Yeah, don't forget to use those emojis, those little stickers. Awesome. Okay, where were we? So we had Blade 3. So I say that really surprised me last issue. It was good. It was fun, sexy, exciting, well drawn. He's very cool. Some great action scenes. Did I say sexy? Remember that? Yeah, Marvel Comics seem to have misplaced the censor on that issue. I was like, oh, no way. Anyway, go back to New Comics. So your Blade, there's a Moon Knight City of the Dead miniseries. Not been reading that. Jean Grey issue 2, if you're a fan of X-Men. Miss Marvel, the New Mutant, issue 2. No comment on there. Anything new, actually? No, there's nothing new, is there? So for independents, for indies, I mentioned Void Rivals, which has been fun. Let's see if anything jumps out. There's Firepower, if anybody's still reading that. Okay, this is the one I meant to look for. I knew there was something coming out I'm going to be definitely picking up. This is an essential buy. Can you guess what it is? It is Conan. Conan the Barbarian, issue 3. From Titan Comics, comes out on Wednesday, $3.99. It's written by Jim Zub with art by the wonderful Roberto Della Torre. Yeah, this has been great. It's been good. It's been proper, going back to Savage Sword of Conan style Conan back in the old days. You know, uncensored, but not like going too crazy because of that. Nice, well controlled, good writing, fantastic art. Not sure about the main cover here, but let me show you a picture of, where are we? The variant by Della Torre in a minute. This is a variant by Patrick Zurcher. Ooh, look at that one. Max von Fafner. Not bad. There it is. Here's the Roberto Della Torre one. Look at that. That's a classic throwback to the, you know, original Marvel series back in the day. You can tell by the way what do you call it? The text is written there, the title. Look at that huge snake wrapped around Conan. The classic Conan look. We also have a lovely black and white version of the main cover by Braithwaite, E. Braithwaite. There's the colour one. Yeah, that's the main cover. So what do you think? Would you go for the main? Are you tempted by this one, the Zurcher one? That's pretty awesome. Conan fighting the army of the undead. The Von Fafner, I don't know, I'm not sure. It's stylish. I like the silhouette style, but would you go for this? Would you go for Della Torre? Oh, to be spoiled by the choices. Amazing. Thanks, DJ Ronnie G. Fearmonic saying excited for Miracle Man if it actually releases this week. Is it coming out? That's the question. We'll have to see. Jean Grey is written by Louise Simonson. That's right, Dwayne. I'd forgotten about that. I read the first issue, but I was kind of like, we'll see how it goes. Let me know if my signal's gone weird. Do let me know. It's saying my internet is a bit weird, but it could just be the Wi-Fi. That's awesome. Okay, let's stop sharing. That might help. Don't forget the corner box. Yes. I always forget all the time. Okay, that was it for new releases that are coming out, I think. Let's just go back quickly. Scroll down. So apart from Conan, anything else that was independent? I can't get it over here, but if you can get a physical copy, there's Frank Frazetta's Death Dealer. The new issue of that is out, but that's by Opus Comics. There's no digital edition, so I can't buy one, otherwise I would. But I've heard, it's awesome. People who are picking that up saying it's great. Great art and good writing. So Frank Frazetta's Death Dealer, but it's from Opus Comics. It's $4.99. Might be hard to find. Oh my goodness, I knew there was one more. And you guys out there, you're probably going to laugh at me for this. Let me take a risk and see if I can share one more time without roboting. Here we go. This is a bit of build up first. IDW lost this license. They were publishing it for a while. Now it's back with Dark Horse. When I say it comes back to Dark Horse, can you guess who it might be? I'll give you some hints and clues. Gray's a big fan of this character. I think it was my big brother, Mick, who introduced me to the character years ago. He might have given me the first volume, the first collected trade as a present, and I'm talking back in the late 1980s. That's how long ago. Here we go. There's a new series starting of Usagi Yojimbo. It's called Ice and Snow. It's a part 1 of 5, so 5-part story. Dark Horse are publishing it. Issue 1. It's going to be $4.99 though. Fully colour. Usagi and Yukichi, who I think is either his cousin or his nephew, could be his cousin, are still in the snowy mountaintops of northern Japan, following Stan Sakai's Usagi Yojimbo story arc, The Green Dragon. So The Green Dragon, as far as I know, is the last story arc with IDW, and then they lost that license. Stan Sakai's returned to Dark Horse after quite a few months away. They are led to the hut of a strange hermit who allows them to spend the night at her home to shelter from the snowstorm. Uh-oh, sounds familiar. Meanwhile, the maniacal Jay and his familiar, Keiko, are on Usagi's trail when they stumble upon a bandit lair and subdue a band of cutthroats and thieves. I'm a big fan of Usagi. I know anthropomorphic, characters aren't everyone's cup of tea, but it is so good. The storytelling is so good. The art might be simple, but it's beautiful. If you're a fan of good storytelling, I'd give it a shot. It does have a few variant covers. Oh, there's a Morrison variant here. Any more? Oh, look at that one. Condemned Comics exclusive, so probably can't get hold of that. Doesn't say who it's by. Wow. Pretty cool, man. And a Scotty Young one. Good grief, there's like 12 of these. Paolo Riviere, I think there. A Sakai variant, Stan Sakai, look at that. Such a simple line, but the colouring's great. I love that. I think it's Hi-Fi doing the colouring. Wow, that's more of a realistic take on the character. Just a couple more. Ooh, a Bartling variant there. And a David Mack. No way, David Mack. Wow, not heard his name for a while. He's done a variant for it. Okay, that's awesome. So I'm not going to go on too long. I do keep these shows kind of short. We're up to 35 minutes. 35, okay. I usually go around 40. I try and get to 42, the magic number. Douglas Adams. 42! You know what I mean, don't you? Any news? Not sure about news, no. Comments, okay. We need Delotto to do a Conan variant. We do. Usagi Yojimbo, Dwayne. Fire a nice one. Are you going for it? Hyped for that. One of my favourite long-running series. you guys talking about Usagi? Oh my god. I found fellow fans. I can't believe it. Kindred hearts. That's brilliant, man. Yeah, big fan of the series. Okay, before I finish, what else I want to talk about? That was it for the main new releases. So, I've got a video recommend. I'll see if I can just bring that up while I'm still talking to you. I watched an Alan Moore interview. It's a fairly oldish one. It's going back to, I think, before the movie of The Watchmen. The movie version came out. So we're talking, quite a few years ago. It's a fascinating video. It's called Alan Moore, Comics and the Occult. It's an interview by, I think it's a writer for Kerrang magazine, and he does 2 interviews with Alan Moore. I tell you, they are fascinating. In the second one, he talks a lot about the way DC Comics have treated him over the years, the problems with, why he wanted to take his name off the movies that they're bringing out, why he doesn't want any, acknowledgement. Even from some of the books, he has to have his name taken off, but they won't do that. So it's quite hard. It sounds, he was really dicked around, really messed around. But the first part of the video, the fascinating part, he talks about his experiences when one experience after he decided to become, a magician, a wizard. And there is a really strange story where he basically, not to spoil it, but to keep it short, he talks about having a very interesting interaction with what he calls possibly a demon. Not that he could see it, not like a physical presence, but a kind of visual or almost dreamlike presence. So he heard a voice and he had a fascinating conversation with this strange entity, which sounds terrifying, but it didn't go really badly, luckily for him. So maybe he was lucky. Or maybe it was all in his head. Maybe he'd had a couple of, shall we say, he'd had some mushroom soup or something like that. I don't know. But yeah, I recommend it. If you're interested, do check it out. 2 fascinating interviews. One is just mainly about Alan and why he's decided to get big into magic and becoming a magician. So I say these are old. 2007 it says. And then the second one is about more focused on the DC Comics problems and the problems with movies over the years, the adaptations of his work. That was it. Okay. DJ Ronnie G saying, never read the comic, but you really enjoyed the Watchmen movie. Okay. It's probably Zack Snyder's, possibly his best movie. Prefer the comic book. Fearmonic saying, definitely going to look for that. Even as silly as Moore can get, sometimes he's still one of my favourite storytellers, especially early on, his earlier stuff, mate. And I'm going to talk about something here as well before I finish. It got me to dig out the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen, my old copies here. I was amused out at the starting gate when Nixon got a 3rd term and used Dr. Manhattan to win the Vietnam War. Yeah, right. I tell you, Ronnie, if you've never read the, it's called a graphic novel now, the collected paperback, I do recommend it. It's a great read. It's a long read, very detailed, really good. Alan's version of Happy Hour, Dwayne. So that's the video, by the way. The title is Alan Moore, Comics and the Occult, 2007 interview. It's on a channel called Illuminated Scam. And as I say, it's from 9 years ago, this video. It's had 190,000 views. Some pretty interesting comments there on it as well. So do check that out if you get time. Okay, before Gray finishes, shout out to the League of Extraordinary Gentlemen. What could have been an amazing movie adaptation turned into a bit of a nightmare, didn't it? This is I missed the individual issues of 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, so I got the compendium. This is parts 1 and 2. Alan Moore, Kevin O'Neill, bumper, compendium edition. Let's have a look. Some of the art inside. I'm sure you know it well. Let's have an impressive page to begin with. Where are we? Be careful what I show. It can be a bit risque at times, but hey, nothing wrong with that in comics. Look, ooh, losing the page. Look at that. Look at that art by Kevin O'Neill. Wonderful. Where's Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde? He's here somewhere. The version of Mr. Hyde in here is just insane. Look at that. I hope it's focusing and you can see it. Yeah, crazy and cool. What a shame it all went wrong with the movie. So a big shout out to that. Great series. And this is pretty random. I did an interview, not interview, I did a review with Jim from Weird Science Comics. Shout out to Jim, Weird Science Comics, of Invisibles issue 10, Season of Ghouls, which introduced Jim Crow, the invisible agent. And randomly, I found this comic book upstairs. This is Invisibles Volume 1, issue 22. Look who's on the cover in the background, behind King Mob. And it looks like a soldier. That's actually Lord Fanny, I think. Yes, indeed, Dwayne. Rest in peace to Kevin O'Neill. I set up at a comic show on Saturday and picked up the League series for $5 each. That's awesome, mate. Nice one. There we go. Look at that. I'll just double check the artist on this. So it's Grant Morrison, of course. It's got art by Steve Yoel. Brilliant. He did the early issues. Jim Crow. What a coincidence. After doing the review with Jim from Weird Science Comics, got Jim Crow in issue 10. He pops back into it in issue 22. I don't think he reappears before then. Could be wrong because it's been a long time. Some crazy stuff going on in here. Look at this art. Weird things. So cool. Do check out Invisibles if you've got any interest. This is a time when, in real life, Grant Morrison was almost dying. And it was reflected in his character King Mob, who was dying of some kind of skin-eating disease. Some kind of skin-eating bacteria was taking over him. And I think it was actually happening in real life as well, allegedly. According to Grant Morrison, he could be exaggerating. Okay, that's been awesome. Yeah, Mick, I know. I think he passed, was it this year or last year? Dwayne, I can't quite remember. It was really sad news. Yeah. Seriously. Shout out to him. Got rid of some old stuff and replaced it with something excellent. Excellent. Fantastic. Okay, we're on the Magic 42. So thank you so much for watching. Thank you for your support. To the members out there, you guys and girls, you rule. You keep the channel going. You help me with the cost for the paying for StreamYard, paying for the comics that I review. It's a huge help. Thank you so much. And I hope to see you in a future video. What should we drop at the end? Let's drop the closer. Here we go. Shout out to the members. Fear Monarch, if you're still there, I'll have to add your name to the list.